Yeah. Am I looking handsome? I think I am. Yo, I have to get another chair, bro. Oh my god. Yo, this chair has been with me since them days. Since my start with my hustles. I've been using this chair for a long time. I don't know, I'm okay with it. Anytime I tell myself I'm going to buy another chair, I don't buy another chair. But I channeled my money to something else. And speaking of channeling my money to something else, I channeled some of my money to making a purchase that I'm making this recording for, and I don't know when I'm going to post this video, but I have to make this recording right now so that when the time comes, at least I speak from somewhat of a present moment, because this is something that's happening to me from a present moment. So if I make the recording now, when the time comes, it won't seem like I won't speak while gambling and trying to remember things, you know. Right now, it's more like something that's happening right now, and this thing is me making a purchase of a car. Guys, I'm making a purchase of a car. You know, leading to this moment, I know I look weird with my leg here, but I have to do this anyway. Leading to this moment, I was kind of lost and almost lacking purpose in a sense. Like I felt like I needed to lean on to something, and for me, this thing came in the sense of buying a car. Like that's where I found some purpose, and I didn't think I was going to get a car this early. I thought I was going to get a car like the next 2 or 3 months. You know, that's when I thought I was going to get a car, but it turned out as I was busy going through GG. You know, I usually go through GG just to like kind of pass time in a sense, or look for deals. Sometimes I'll get a deal. I don't plan on buying something, but because the deal is good, I find myself going to make the purchase, and that's what happened for the car. I was just going through Gigi and I landed on this car. Actually, there were two ads. One ad was someone selling a RAV4, a black one, for 7 million. I think it was 7.5 million. If I can see, it was 7 million. He was selling a RAV4 for 7 million. It was a black RAV4. It looked decent. Actually, the images he had posted were really, really nice images. Like, I saw the car was in a good condition, and I told myself, okay, this is a good option. And it drives. He put the description down there. It drives. The engine is okay. I'm like, okay, this is the first option. Let me put it aside. And second option was also a RAV4, but this one was at 5.7 million, 1999 RAV4, and it seemed to be like dusted with so much dust. Yeah, it had so much dust. It's like it had been in the parking lot for a long time, like someone hadn't driven it for a long time. And I don't know what the condition was like inside, but you know, I was telling myself 5.7 million, not bad, and maybe I could revive this car with like 3 or 4 million. That's what I was going through my head. So I'm like, let me put it as an option. So the next day comes, and actually, if I can backtrack here, this car is 7 million, 5.7 million. Prior to seeing these cars, I didn't have it in my head that cars could go for that low. Like, it was like what I'd actually expected was like cars were like between 10 to 20 million. That's how I saw it. And also because most of the times when I'm checking through GG, I'd put in filters, and I was looking for cars that are a lot less. That for a lot less. And most of the cars are like junk yard cars that look so bad. They have problems here and there. So like in my head, I was like, if you're looking for something at least that's somewhat decent, but you still have to put in some work, maybe 10 million and above. But then I see these cars and I see the ads, 7 million, 5.7 million. These cars look like they're in good condition. Like, you look at them and wow. And you're like, okay, if I'm putting in any effort, it's not really going to cost me that much. And maybe this is like a steal. Maybe this is someone rushing to sell their car. Most times when I'm looking for deals on GG, I'm looking for individual sellers, not people who are part of a dealership or people who are part of a group or a company, whatever. Because those kind of people are looking to turn profits. Whereas individual sellers, they are looking for fast money. So those are the kind of people I'm looking for most of the times. And for the black car, it was some individual seller, a guy, he was looking to sell his car, and he wanted money ASAP. I think he wanted to buy another car, or he wanted, whatever the case, he wanted money ASAP. So he was on a quick sell. Whereas this other car for 5.7 million was from a dealership, and that has a story to it, and I'm going to get to the story. But let me first talk about the individual seller. So I wake up in the morning, I'm excited, I'm like, I have to see this through. And I'd given myself a period of until September, because until September is when I would actually have had at least 10 to 11 million or 12 million, at least up to September. That's what I told myself. So not until September I would not attempt to buy a car. But then prior to that moment, I was busy taking in so much content on buying a car. Like, it was crazy watching hella videos. Like, my feed, if you check my YouTube feed, it's just cars. I'd even say going to Japanese websites looking for cars to import and all of that. I made a video where I was talking about that. Actually, I was talking about how I was thinking of importing cars, but the whole importing thing was a nightmare of its own. And the costs, the different bureaucracies that you have to go through to get the car into the country was a whole mess, and I backed out. I made a video on that. So I wake up in the morning, I reach out to this guy on Gigi, the guy for the owner of the black car, the individual seller. Reach out to him, tell him I need to see it tomorrow. So we plan. Like, it was so ASAP. I don't even know where I got the confidence from, because like I had been seeing cheap cars, but I think it's because this car in particular looked nice, and he put nice images. It looked like it had no mechanical issues or anything, and it's what he put in the description. So I'm really optimistic about getting the car. So I wake up in the morning, get on a Judge, rush there. So I'm here taking breakfast. Okay, prepare to take breakfast, and then I'm going to go and I see my raffle. I've called it my raffle. Okay, I've been dreaming a lot about it being my raffle, because it's kind of on a good price and it looks decent, looks nice, and I feel like this is a perfect car to be like my first car, or to be your first car, in case you're looking for a first car and you don't really have like a lot of money. Just something that you can get your driving journey started. So I'm going to finish taking my breakfast, then I go and I check this car out. I hope it's in good condition, like everything is fine, because I've liked it from the pictures. And there's this one, and there's also another option. This one is in black, the other one is also in black, but matte black. The other one looks a lot nicer, though I saw the interior, it's like it hasn't been driven in a long time. So I don't know if I'll see the other one, honestly, because it's in Makinde and this one is in Gayaza, so the transport is going to be crazy. But maybe I will see how I'll play it out, honestly. But I'm excited to go and check this car out. So yeah, I think I'm going to take you guys through the journey. So let's see. Let me take my breakfast and get ready. Boom, I reached the place. Actually, he gave me a contact of a mechanic who was holding the car, and I reached out to this guy, meet with the guy. So I check out the car, and bro, the car wasn't what I expected. You're going to see things on Gigi, and it's not until when you go there in person that you actually believe if this was something that was authentic or not. And this car was pretty beaten up. It was beaten up. I'm looking at the videos here, and it had dust all over the car. And I think if you wash the car, you put some effort and wash it, it could get revived. But even me, like, seeing it, because I was there in person and I entered the car, and it looked really beaten up, and it felt like I would have to put in so much effort to get the car revived. So I'm looking around the car, and I see even the windshield is cracked, and I'm like, damn, But I'm like, it's okay. I move around the car, trying to see. Now in my head, my strategy had changed. In my head, I'm like, okay, this car isn't exactly how it looked on the images I saw on Gigi, but let's see if we can take it to some place and it gets revived, like it gets fixed, and it looks really nice. So that's what I'm looking at now as I'm moving around. Then I enter the driver's seat. He hands me the key for the car, and he's like, so these are some of the issues with the car, and you need to change the key lock, because any key can turn on the car, which was something that I was like, what? He was like, yeah, any key can turn on the car.
Yes, key switch.
And what is wrong with the key switch exactly?
Like you switch.
Yeah.
It starts, but the problem with it is that every key can start the car.
Every key can start.
That's my move. But can you replace it?
I had my key for my room here. I tried. Yeah, the car started. Any key can start the car. So I was like, okay, this is concerning. So that has to be changed. And I'm seeing, like, I'm looking around the car and I'm feeling some type of way, like, we'll have to make changes here and there. And this is a RAV4, this is an old car. This car, if you want to get it on par with many of the modern cars, you're going to put in some effort and you're going to put in, yeah. So I'm looking around, I'm seeing like, damn man, the effort that I'm going to put in is at a mob shit, man. It's mob. So we go on a test drive to see if it's actually like decent where the core of the car, because the car isn't just the exterior and the interior alone, it's the engine. The engine is really what it is. Like as humans, our hearts drive whatever is going on. The lungs, whatever is inside, is what keeps us going every day. Not your brain. I mean, your brain is also something that keeps you, but not your consciousness, like your awareness, but it's the internals that keep us awake. And if any of those internals are damaged or what, you cease to exist.
When it is all
We go on a test drive to see if the car, has the internals are in good condition. And this is where I tell you guys something about me, bro. Guys, prior to this moment, I hadn't driven like on a road. I hadn't driven on a road. And also, I haven't really like gone to like driving school. And it's not like I'm a expert driver or anything. Or even it's not like I've had much driving experience. Anytime someone asks me, can you drive? I'm like, yeah, I can drive. Like that's what I tell myself, I can drive. But I haven't like driven. Most times what I used to do when I was like home, I used to drive the car like within the compound, and most times just to like change the car. If it has been parked like so, I get into the car and I drive it to change how it has been parked, and I tell myself like, yeah, I'm driving, like that. But I never like took it out to drive it out. And the only time I ever drove a car out was actually very recent, this year actually. And this just comes to show you that I think for us men, like, we have like this daredevil attitude. We like to try and do things. But also, anytime I would sit in a car and I see someone driving, next to someone driving, I'm observing what this person is doing. So that's in essence how I learned how to drive. I just observe like, okay, someone is pushing the brakes like so. And also, I have watched a few YouTube videos, not that many, just a few, just like, but watching alone isn't enough to give you the road experience, right? Perhaps the most I reached in driving was when I was driving a friend's car, and he was like giving me a bit of direction on how to like go about pressing the gear and balancing it, so that if you overpress it, the car will jerk forward a lot, and you get yourself in an accident. Like, there's a way how you're supposed to balance it, and that's always what I have in mind. Like, when I'm sitting next to someone driving, I'm like observing how the person is playing around with the pedal and the brakes. So when I sat into this lady's car, because it was a lady who gave me her car, and she was like, can you drive, Chris, can you drive? And I'm like, yeah, come on, I can drive. Like, like, you don't want to make it seem like you're an amateur. I mean, I'm a guy, man. Most times guys, like, these are things you're supposed to be knowing. I'm 25 now. How don't I know how to drive a car? Come on. So she gives me the car keys. So I turn on the car, and I don't know how she didn't notice this, but I turn on the car and I forgot to put down the clutch. Damn, I've broken away from my jazz completely, but let's continue with this jazz. I forgot to put down the brake. Is it the gear or whatever? Before, like, you turn on the car, then you step on the brake, and then you put down the clutch. I think it's the clutch, and then you change to driving. I'd forgotten to do that. In fact, from the very start, should have been like an alarm for her. from the very start, because it was a push to start. You're supposed to push to start while stepping on the brake. But me, I'm pushing to start. It's not working. I'm telling her it's not working. She's like, no, you have to step on the brake. And I'm like, oh yeah, like the way we do with the other cars. So, I create this perception that I understand what's up. Instead, when she told me you're supposed to step on the brake and press the push to start, whatever, it was like reminding me of what I'm supposed to do. Because remember, I only have like visual knowledge about how to drive a car. It's not like I've been driving a car. So she tells me, then I do it, the car starts. Then I'm like trying to change the thing. She's like, you've forgotten to put down the clutch. I'm like, yeah, put down the clutch. Now I'm starting to remember. Then I change to reverse. Then I slowly take it behind, because I've seen people driving, bro. I've seen people driving, and I can see you're supposed to like do things slowly. So you're supposed to like step on the brake slowly at a certain pace, so that you don't, knock someone or do something crazy. And I do that, and then I get it out. And then I change to driving, and then I drive out of the parking lot. Like, I do everything fine, and she's not even aware that this guy hasn't driven a car like outside. The one thing I told her was, I can drive, but I don't have much road experience, right? So I do that. I drive the car. Even I reach, like, we drove to the main road, but it wasn't like a long distance. So I drive to the main road, I drive a bit, and then we get to like some shops that are packed. And then I drove up to my place. Like, just now, I drove the entire journey. I drove up to my place, and I even drove her back up to the other side. Like, all of this is just visual knowledge, out of visual knowledge. And prior to this moment, I had never driven a car for that distance. Never. It was just like within a confined space. But here I am driving her from the swimming place, which is close to my place, but like it's quite a distance. By the way, it's quite a distance. Now you're probably wondering like, why did you drive out to your place? Blah blah blah, all of that. Like she wanted chicken and all fried, like this roasted chicken, but the place that I knew was here, and the place that we were supposed to go to was not open. So I had to come up to my place. Then I got the chicken, brought it to her, and I drove her back. I said, don't overthink this. Yeah, don't overthink this. But yeah, throughout the entire time, she didn't have any idea that, this guy doesn't know how to drive, or he could knock us in, he could get us into an accident or what. Actually, there was even a point where I was like driving up the, because we're like on a hill, so I'm driving like up, and the road is narrow, and another car was coming. Actually, like 2 cars were coming, and so I have to like, those guys give me like space, so I have to drive past them. And I don't know how I pulled it off. To this day, I don't remember how it's like an unconscious feeling that I have of how I drove through that small gap, and we were so close to the wall. She was like, oh my God, you're so close to the wall. And I'm like, it's okay, don't worry, everything is fine. Like, bro, I had so much confidence. Like, being a guy is something else. We have this daredevil confidence that just comes out of the blue. And for me, I think it's just more like I'm doing this with a bit of curiosity, because I know I have to balance my brake, how I'm braking, and I have to move the pedal a certain way. It's what is driving me as I'm driving this car. It's what is moving me as I'm driving this car. So I move it past those 2 cars in certain way. I don't understand how, but I was so close to the wall. I could have crashed the car honestly, but I didn't. And I drive past. I drive up to the main road that's the other side. I did all of this without giving her like a red flag. Maybe she noticed, maybe she didn't. But the entire time, if you're like someone who drives a lot and you see me driving, you can see that I'm like this, because I'm trying to make sure that everything is on form. I'm not like doing it out of like, knowledge, like I know how to drive a car. So back to where we were. First, from the parking lot, the mechanic who is like overseeing the car, who I had met to show me the car, he's like, do you want to drive it out of the parking, or I drive it for you out of the parking? I'm like, it's okay, let me drive it out of the parking. So I get in, and then I'm like moving the car, and I'm doing things a bit slower, and he's like, let me help you. Let me just help you. Then he gets in and he gets it out of the parking, and he does it so quick and fast. Like, this is something he does all the time. He does it so quick and fast. gets it out of the parking. He gets me up to somewhere that I'm supposed to branch to the main road. And mind you, this is like the highway. This is like a highway in a sense. He hands me over and he's like, okay, now you can drive and then you see how the car is. And we were going to drive at long distance. And bro, this is now the second time that I'm actually like driving on the main road. On the main road. So I get into the car, I change to driving, and then I look around, see, and I don't know how this was like a coincidence, but there was no like car coming, and maybe there was just like a border that was passing by. So I drive onto the main road. Then I start driving on the main road, and he notices that I'm like very close to like the side, and I'm supposed to like be in the middle and give space for border guys to ride by. And he's like, oh, you have to like move to the road, get to the road. So I do that. I move to the road, and I'm balancing the brakes very well. I'm not overspeeding too much, but I'm also driving at a reasonable pace for the highway. Like, I'm doing everything fine. Then we go for a drive. So I'm here just watching through the video and seeing myself drive, bro. I hadn't even watched this video. Like, ever since this day, I didn't watch this video of me driving, and I can just see myself here, like, bro, pulling it off like crazy. I'm looking at myself and I'm like, bro, how the fuck did you do this, man? Like, literally, that is the second time I'm driving a car on the road. Second time. And somehow I was just pulling it off. I'm seeing myself like turning the wheel, just even trucks are passing me. I'm not even like scared. I don't remember feeling scared or bothered or worried, nothing. I remember we reached the road that was being constructed and we had driven and all of that. And he's like, so we need to turn from here, a U-turn from here to go back to the garage where we were. And he's like, let me drive from here.
You make a U-turn after that collapse.
U-turn?
You make a U-turn after that collapse. Then, yeah, we go back. I didn't say U-turn, I said we make a U-turn. Make a U-turn, go back. Yeah. Don't mind, let me drive.
You drive?
Yeah.
I think he had noticed or something, but the entire time we were driving, he was even recording me as I was driving. That just shows you that like he was recording me, meaning he was kind of, in the, like he felt maybe I knew what I was doing. But this was just all like, in the entire time, it's like you've watched a video on YouTube. Let's say you watched a tutorial on how to cook something or something like that, and you're now putting it into action. That is me. I'm now putting it into action. So the entire time, even when you see me like driving, I'm like very, very serious, looking at the main road, looking at, that's a beginner right there. That's a beginner right there driving. Beginner, bro. Crazy. That's a beginner right there. And like, it's just like this daredevil feeling that I have, or like curiosity. I think if you're there and you don't know how to drive, it's probably because you have so much fear. I think for most people, it's like so much fear. Even me, I'd be having fear when I'm going on this daredevil attempts. But the fear is, it's not stronger than the urge to want to do this thing. Like, I have so much urge and curiosity, and like I want to actually get it done. I want to do it right because I've watched videos, I've observed people driving, and I want to actually pull it off. That's what is driving me. So I'm driving the car and I'm not like ringing any alarms to anyone that, oh, I don't know how to drive or anything like that. Like, I don't know how it's going to be when I go to driving school. Maybe the only driving school. So the first car, I drive the car, it was okay, it was fine, everything was kawa, but I wasn't convinced. Like, the body of the car didn't feel convincing. I'm closing the door and it feels like it's only metal, like, I don't know, like it didn't speak to me. So I told myself, I saw this other car, I might have to put in so much work into this other car, but it looks decent, so let's go and check it out. So, I called these other guys. They're like, oh, come to Makinde. Makinde is a place by that they sell so many cars. I didn't even know, but they sell cars there. And yes, they sell cars there, but most of the cars that are there are like used cars. If you want used cars, Makinde, go to Makinde. There are many used cars, and I didn't know. But as I was going to the place, I could notice there are many like places where there are cars, and I think like I had been around the area before. I'd seen all of these places, but most of the times I used to think maybe they were like washing bays, but these were like dealerships dealing in used cars. One of the hardest thing to do in public is to vlog, man. I don't even know how I'm doing it right now, but yeah, I'm here in Makinde waiting for that guy who's going to pick me to show me the second car. This is a RAV4 as well, and this one looked good in the photos, but now I'm convinced that when you see the photos, they're not exactly what you see in real life. So I'm not all too excited like I was before, so let's wait and see if it's a good buy.
So you want a short chassis only?
A short?
A short
What do you want me to
chassis,
do?
or even if it is long?
A short one.
Short, yeah?
Yeah. Well, we can see a long one as well. So I go to the place, and we get to the place, and they show me a different RAV4 from the one that I had seen on Gigi. And the guy tells me, oh, the one you wanted has been taken.
The other one was taken. They're in the office, they're right.
And the one which was even showing me that I had wanted wasn't really the one, but it was also one of the cars that I had seen on Gigi. But someone else had come and had taken the car. So he shows me this other RAV4, and the interior also wasn't it, but outside it looked good. It looked good on the outside. So they bring the battery, they start the car, and the car is actually like starting properly. Like, they are convincing me that it actually works. But I couldn't go for a test drive because there are like so many cars in the parking lot. I was going to pull it off again. I was going to drive that car again. Like bro, I'm stubborn in my own way. So I was going to like pull it off, checking the car, I'm looking around, I look at the interior. The interior is the one that just put me off, man. The interior wasn't really it, but the car started and it was starting very well. I looked at the engine, it's an old car, the engine wasn't really it. Then I look around, like I see that I still have to put in effort. You come to a car dealership and you see the car looking on the outside looking really, really nice. Then inside it's a different story. And you start to feel like, is there something off that you're missing out on? Or because you want to buy the car but you feel like there's something off. That's the feeling I'm in right now. The guy who was talking to me, and he's like, yeah, the car drives well. Like, there's no issue with the car, there's no issue at all. The only thing, maybe you're going to have to take it for washing because it looks so dusty inside. Take it for washing, and yeah, maybe if you want to change the chairs or what, because one of the chairs or the chairs themselves, like they didn't appeal to me. Like, it felt like I still need to put some effort. Then I look around the tires, like you could see there were different brands, and I felt like maybe I need something uniform. So I was just telling myself I might have to put in some effort here and there, all of that. So day one, the car that I had seen on Gigi, I wasn't seeing it, 5.7 million. But here, I tell the guys, so I had come with my budget of 4.5 million, but you guys are telling me the car is a lot more expensive than that. That I think they were telling me the car is for 8 million. But also, for some reason, I got the impression that they were telling me the car is 4.5 million also. Actually, to backtrack, so after I finish observing the car and I see how the car is looking and all, okay, I'm telling myself, at this point, I honestly felt like just backing out and telling myself, you know what, let's just focus on saving the 10 million and we can get something that's a bit decent, because most of these cars that are below 10 million look pretty beaten up. Like, it's like I'm going to put in so much effort to revive the car. So I'm there, I'm like, maybe I need to like chill out. But also something in me is telling me I have to see this through. But also another thing is, when you reach at a dealership, or guys, if you ever look at a deal on the internet or somewhere and you go to see the thing, sometimes there's this thing that's speaking to you that you have to see this through, that you actually have to pay money, or else it feels like you've wasted this person's time. And that was the feeling that I was having. The money hits my account, I come back the next day and I'm talking to the guy, and I'm like, I have at least 3.5 million. I have 3.5 million here with me, and I'm hoping to take the car with me. And he's like, okay, you have 3.5 million, but you wanted at least you put 4.5 million because and then as a deposit. So he says as deposit, and in my head I'm like, I didn't get the impression that the 4.5 million was going to be deposit. I thought it was going to be full payment. And he's like, you thought full payment, 4.5 million? That car can't go for 4.5 million. It's 8 million. That's what he tells me. I'm like, 8 million. Honestly, at this point, I wanted to just back off. Like, I'm just telling myself, like, I can't see this through, man. In my head, I'm like, this guy, it felt to me like these guys are going against their word, because I got the impression that the car was 4.5 million before. Yes, they're right, man. I don't even know if I want to take the car anymore, because they're just in other stories here. I feel like it just feels like so much to take down. And the miles here, it's at 200,000 miles. That's crazy, man. This thing has been driven for years, man. And the funny thing about the dealerships is, these dealerships, at least the one that I had gone to, you're going to see many cars, but not all those cars are owned by the dealer. The dealership is just the one that brokers the deal, that acts as the middleman for these other people that bring in the cars, because these cars are owned by different guys. So you find a guy has just bought his car, he has kept it there at the dealership, and the dealership is going to be a broker to bring two people together. Like, if I want to buy the car, the dealership is going to bring me and the seller together, and they will sign the papers, they will get us paperwork and all of that, and they'll just make the process a lot easier for the person who's selling the car. That's what the dealership is for. Okay, now I'm talking to the guy, I'm like here trying to bargain, because man, 8 million, bro. I didn't get the impression it was 8 million. I felt at that point now, I felt like, you know what, let me just go back home with my money and I just save it up, and I don't think about this again. But then, another thing in my head is telling me, man, you have to see this through. You have to see this through. And this is also going to be a big move, in the sense that I'm actually going to own a car. Like, I could actually own a car. I mean, I still have to put in some money to get the car to look fine, but I'm actually going to own a car. And if you know anything about owning a car in any part of the world, I like to think it's that it gives you some form of like elevation. It's like you have money, it's like you have status, like it elevates you in a sense. Most people don't own cars, so you who own the car, you're elevated in a sense. And also owning a car, you could look at the price of the car and tell yourself like 7 million, 8 million, that's so cheap. Even me, I could own a car. One thing about people who own cars, it's not just owning a car that you're owning a car, it's also what comes with owning a car. Maintenance, fuel, those things swallow money. And if you own a car and you constantly use the car, respect, because those things swallow money. Like, just fuel alone, you could burn 300 grand in a month, depending on how much fuel your car consumes. I don't know how much fuel this car honestly is going to consume. Like, that's the research even up to now that I haven't yet gone through, like fuel consumption in cars and how different cars consume fuel. I haven't done research on that even up to now, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the time and actually do the research on that, because it's important that, and it's funny that I'm doing it now after I've put a down payment on the car, because after having this conversation and having the back and forth, because the guy really wanted me to pay 8 million. The guy was dying for me to pay, to accept that I will pay 8 million. Like, I'll put a down payment, but the full price for the car would be 8 million. And I kept on telling him, nah. And I was almost accepting it, but something in me, because I actually wanted to go with the car that very day, because in my head I'm like, if I put a down payment and I don't go with the car, these guys can find a way to, like, if these guys are not authentic, they could take my money and I don't recoup my money. And to be honest, even up to now, I don't know if they're authentic, because I put a down payment of 3.5 million, and I told them, because they told me if you put 4.5 million, you can go with the car and you pay the rest later. And I put a down payment of 3.5 million. To this, up to this moment, I still don't know if these guys are authentic or not. I mean, I checked them out on Facebook, and I've been there since like 2017. I've been there for a while, and they have like a dealership, they have a place, so it feels like they're authentic. But there was an alarm that came when I gave in the 3.5, and they're getting me this document that is supposed to indicate when I'm supposed to bring the remaining 1M to make 4.5 million, so that I take the car. And if I don't bring the money by then, the money is forfeited, and they keep the money, the 3.5, and the car goes back to the market. Like, any money that's taken, you don't get that money back, because 2nd July is the date this lady put on the document. She put 2nd July is when I have to bring the money, or else the thing will be forfeited. I feel like she did that, like, intentionally, knowing that they can get me off guard, and they take my money, in a sense. I went back so that could be changed, but she only changed it on my document, but she didn't change on the paper that I was given, but she didn't change it in the books. So right now I'm looking to get the 1M. I take it there and I get the car before 2nd July, so that they don't if I go to court, because I went back and changed to 15th of July, but in the books it's not changed. It's just changed on my documents. I didn't want to cause a fuss about it. Who knows what can happen? Like, I didn't want to cause a scene or anything. I just took my document. It has their 15th, but in the books it's 2nd. So I want to take there the 1M before 2nd of July. Like, bro, these guys, you have to read documents. Anytime you're given a document, you have to read them, and also you have to do the research. But also, that's the thing, like, some of these things you don't get to know them until when you actually put yourself out there. And that was the case for me. Like, if you have not made the down payment to take the car, they can forfeit that down payment, and they keep the money, and they put the car back on the market, which is what was in the document. Even when I got the document first time, I didn't observe it. It's not when I reached that drop and I was waiting for my brother to come and I was reading through the document that I saw. I'm like, whoa, I've already paid my money there, and it's showing 2nd July. So even right now, like this, as I'm speaking, I'm in this pressure. I need to get the money so that I can go and I make the down payment. And the funny thing is, even the 500 that I have is supposed to be gone for rent, but because I'm in this mess that I'm in, I have to like pay for this, and I know my rent is like on Saturday, and if I don't pay my rent, then the landlord is crazy man. He's a crazy man. He's going to turn off my power or something. But I also expect some money that I'm going to cover, that I could use for the rent. It's only that the money has to come before Saturday. Just now, I'm in my mess. Yeah, I'm hoping that after I've put that 4.5 million, after I've made that 4.5 million, I can get the car. And once the car is in my possession, at least I'm flexible to pay off the car in my pace, because I have it in my possession, which is always what I think you should be looking forward to. This is the first time I'm doing this, and I've got into this mess. I have to get myself out of the mess, but I'm making this video so that you don't get yourself in this mess. If you're going to get a car and you don't have the full down payment, don't put any money down there. Don't, because they're going to give you a document and they're going to tell you have to pay this down payment by this time, and if you don't, the money that you've put down is going to be forfeited, and they will take ownership of the car, and the car will go back on market, and they can sell it to anyone. And because you signed the documents and all of that, you're going to lose money just like that, and you can't go to court. And also, the document that they give you after you put a down payment, on my document it said non-refundable. Like, after you put that money down there, down payment down there, it's non-refundable. You can't get it back. You can't change your mind and say, you know what, I don't plan on getting a car anymore, so I need my money back. No, once you put it down there, you have to see it through. That's the thing for me right now. I have to see it through. I have to make sure I actually pay off that down payment and I get the car. and that will just be the down payment. Then I have to, they will draft for me another document telling me when I have to complete the 7 million, because I managed to convince him. I don't know how I pulled it off. I managed to bargain. I didn't even bargain. Like, I just gave the impression that I was going to walk away if we didn't get the money down to 7 million, because he wanted me the complete payment for the car to be at 8 million. And man, I wasn't ready to go to 8 million. I was just like, nah, because I was looking, I have to put some more money on the car to make it look nice, and that would be expensive. It would go to like 2 or 3 million. I still have to put in that money in the car to make it look a lot more appealing, because it's still, on the outside it looks fine, but on the inside I have to put in so much stuff. I have to fix the AC, I have to fix the speaker, I have to get like if I'm putting like all of that stuff, I need to do all of that. And I was feeling like in my head, if it's at 7 million, then I can put at least 2 to 3 million, which will get me to 10 million, which was the amount that I was looking at to get a car. 10 million, which will get me to 10 million. But at 8 million, and I'm investing and I'm putting in another 2 to 3 million, that will take me to 11 million, and the car doesn't really, I was not taking it. So I was not taking it. I was just like, I was giving that impression that I could walk away. So the guy agreed to 7 million, and it's what is on my paper. So after I've completed this 4.5 million, I can take the car from the dealership. And my fingers are crossed like this. Like, if I'm going to reach out to my brother tomorrow, and I hope he has the money on him so that I can go and I pick the car. And I'm going to drive the car from the parking lot up to my brother's apartments, because here I don't have enough parking space, and if I need space, if I need to have the car with me, I'll have to pay for parking on the next compound. Right now, bro, I've spent way past, like I'm dead broke, bro. I'm dead broke. Let me just say that I'm dead broke. So I'll have to drive the car from the dealership up to my brother's apartments. So yeah, I'm going to drive the car from the dealership up to my brother's apartments, and hopefully I don't get caught by traffic police, because I don't have documents on driving, and also I may be at risk of making a road mistake, because I haven't been in driving school, and I don't have like road knowledge. Like, maybe you're not supposed to drive at this distance or what. I don't know. I don't know any of those things. That's like the next phase of my story. The next phase of my story is driving the car, is actually getting the car out of the dealership and parking it at my brother's place.